Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming to our webinar. My name is Tony Cueva. I'm the head of business development and strategy at Rebuild. And today we're going to discuss how to unlock the Mexican market, like why US businesses need OXXO Pay. So we are going to show you why US businesses should integrate OXXO Pay to tap into this Mexican growing market and also learn how this payment method can help you to streamline transactions and expand your reach. So just for legal notice, this webinar is provided for informational and educational purposes only. I should not be constructed as specific legal, financial, and professional advice. While we try to present accurate and up-to-date information, we don't guarantee its applicability and accuracy related to your individual situation or specific company circumstances. And without further ado, let me introduce first Rebuild. Rebuild is a cross-border payment subscription platform for global companies in Latin America. So we offer more than 100 payment methods from cards to alternative payment methods such as digital wallets, bank transfers, and even though cash in 10 countries in the region. We help US companies process local payments, convert those funds into USD, and send them to their corporate bank account. We have one connection only, and we are allowed the US companies to do that connection within minutes. Our advantage, our value proposition is regarding the transparency fees, the human customer support, and the swift integration. Within the transparency fees, you can show your payment operation costs in our platform. So you don't have any hidden costs or fees associated. We also be fully transparent. That's part of our culture. It's part of how we are wired. We show you what it costs on the processing fee, on the uh, transparent exchange rate at that time, at the moment, and we don't charge minimums. We also want to support you with humans. We give you instant answers from humans. No bots or automated support is going to be able to answer your questions and the doubts that you have about our platform. And finally, we have a swift integration. We want to accelerate your launch, your time to market with our user-friendly API and SDK designed for rapid deployment. And we are also backed by tier one VCs within that list, as you can see, Tiger Global, Y Combinator, Soma Capital, SB Engine, Magma Partners, and Rally Cap. So what is OXXO Pay? You guys are probably familiar or not with this payment method, but OXXO Pay is a voucher-based payment method introduced by OXXO, which is the largest convenience store chain in Latin America with over 20K store locations, and it is owned by conglomerate FENSA, which is the fourth most valued company in Mexico with a market cap of 42 billion. It was launched by OXXO and in alliance with Conecta, which is a Mexican payment service provider, and it was officially launched in February 2017. And it enables users to make cash payments for online purchases by generating a unique code that can be scanned at any OXXO store. So it caters to the substantial segment of the population that either doesn't not have access to bank accounts because 52.8% remains underbanked as today, and nor have access to credit. Just 7.7% owns a credit card as today. So let's talk about what relevancy is within this market. So there are some facts about OXXO Pay that you need to know in order to validate why their adoption was so relevant. And these 4 points are very important to focus, and why you should include OXXO Pay as your main payment method within the Mexican market. It has received a wide adoption within Mexico City and within Mexico as a country as a whole, because millions of Mexican consumers has go to their nearest OXXO, which is in every single corner in Mexico, to make these cash payments for over 5,000 digital services. So we include these digital services: Amazon, Netflix, Spotify, and even Fortnite. Even an online game owned by Epic Games has enabled OXXO payment, OXXO payments or OXXO Pay in charge to pursue digital currency within the game. Also, it's relevant to say that Mexico is still a cash dominant economy. Okay, so for of the 476 billion transacted in e-commerce or in face-to-face retail payments in 2022, 315 billion or 66% of those was actually only made by cash, and the rest was actually provided by cards and also some sort of like digital payments. So it is massive that cash is still king within the Mexican market, and that's why it's so relevant to make cash payments in Mexico. It was also, as a matter of fact, so relevant for the businesses to adopt this payment method, because as businesses are using OXXO Pay to tap into Mexico's large underbanked market, is also enjoying the security and simplicity of making cash transactions. You have the 24/7 availability of these OXXO stores that are around the corner, and also they can make a real-time payment confirmation. So it is easier if you go to this store to go to registration and then validate your online payment within minutes, or will be say like real-time confirmation. And also they leverage the trusted OXXO brand to enhance consumer confidence and transaction, because maybe some Mexicans consumers, they don't understand these outsiders, right? Like these international brands or international merchants. So making purchases or validating purchases or making purchases within an OXXO store actually provide that level of security and confidence that the consumer wants to have in order to make this payment valid. And OXXO claimed 10%, and finally, like OXXO also claimed 10% of the Mexico e-commerce volume in 2023, which is around 6 billion total payment volume. It becomes one of the favorite payment methods in Mexico. And this is why I think it's so relevant for US companies to adopt OXXO Pay as one of their main payment methods within the Mexican market. But how do you actually enable payments in OXXO? So there's 4 steps. You when you make an online payment, you go to the checkout, and that's all online payments, and then you choose the product you want to pay. Then you click on the OXXO Pay button to select as your valid payment method, and then your service provider, which is in this case Reveal, you're gonna capture the screen. You're gonna capture you're gonna show you a code, a barcode that actually show you some sort of like registration that of your purchase, so you can go with that registration to or that paper, or even show the paper and the barcode to your nearest OXXO store to make the payment. So it's pretty easier to make payments, cash payments within the OXXO Pay payment method. Finally, so that's why like US businesses has been adopting OXXO Pay. Basically, it's agile, simple, and available. So they can make payments quick and easy, requiring just a scan of a barcode. And also, convenience stores operate on a 24/7 model, so consumer can make payments at flexible hours. As I mentioned before, this is a cash-dominated economy, as the majority of the Mexicans are still underbanked and have limited access to credit cards. The association with a trusted brand as OXXO is for convenience and reliability, and this could boost, enhance your own brand credibility within the Mexican market. And finally, since the transactions are made in person, OXXO Pay reduces the risk of fraud and non-recognition payments. So, who has been the adopters of these uh, payment methods? As we mentioned before, like OXXO Pay adoption in the Mexican market is so relevant that even like four prominent companies in the tech sector add it as a valid payment method in the country. For example, OXXO, Amazon was accept OXXO Pay for its Mexican version e-commerce and pickup facility. They have an agreement since 2017, 2018 that they will use OXXO stores to pick up facility to send some orders from the e-commerce and enable the OXXO store not only to make payments but also to receive the orders and they can pick up there, which is a win-win situation for Amazon and for OXXO, the company as well. And Netflix and Spotify has adapted their subscription model to a prepaid account to enable cash payments because this model is also just unique within the Mexican market because as you can see, cash payments are not being able with recurrency. Um, and just for a matter of fact, only Rebuild can enable some recurrency with some reminders. However, it's super difficult to make that happen in real time in real world. So they enable prepaid accounts in order to make these cash payments and enable those cash payments so they can actually pre-fill with some amount so that can pay for the subscription for that amount. And also, finally, Epic Games, the developer of Fortnite, accepts OXXO to buy virtual cash and virtual currency, which is the Fortnite V-Bucks. And that's how a lot of gamers go to OXXO stores just to purchase this virtual currency and they still playing the game. So even though these four tech companies has enabled OXXO payments for this purpose to tap into the Mexican market. So how does it works for with Rebuild, right? So OXXO Pay or payings with Rebuild, it happens this way. So uh, when consumers order anything online, merchants will use Rebuild to show OXXO Pay at the checkout. So then they use the cash with the code, the barcode that it appears at the checkout, and they can show their mobile app, their mobile browser and the barcode to the nearest OXXO store to confirm the purchase. And this is super helpful because, as I mentioned before, the benefits of incorporating OXXO Pay for your business is that you have an immediate payment verification and confirmation. You have that confirmation. It's gonna send you a trigger to you as enabled by Rebuild, and that will actually make you confirm that you can send the order or you can actually buy the service, the online service that you want to purchase, like the consumer want to purchase. They also have a high payment acceptance rate because as it's cash, you need to go in person and you need to confirm the purchase. So it's really a high payment acceptance rate for OXXO, and which is super important. I think that this is the most critical point why Amazon, Netflix, and others has enabled OXXO Pay is that it reduces the risk of chargebacks, right? Because you need to make the payment in person, then you are confirming with your identity that you want to make this purchase. So it's really difficult to say, like, to push back for this type of like payment method, and it's getting very, very relevant. That's kind of one of the reasons why they want to incorporate OXXO Pay. So there's no way that they can go back and reduce and say no to the purchase because they have made it in person. Unfortunately, there's no way to make payouts within the OXXO payment method. So that's why we don't show more about um, how can we enable payouts with OXXO, as it's a voucher-based cash payments. But I think there's and you can talk, you can read it on our newsletter. Uh, that I am leading the newsletter, there's some possibilities that some Uber and all these ride-hailing apps can enable cash outs for via OXXO, because I think OXXO, as is prominent within the market, they can enable these cash payments and enable these cash out payments within the market. But this is to be determined. We don't know it's going to be happening. I feel like there's a possibility, but it's not enabled right now. But what we can show you right now is actually that our solution or our solution is ready for you. I think it's super important to validate that when you're paying, like if you want to accept payments within Mexico, it is highly important to enable also pay. And the good news is that you don't need a local entity with us. Just need to use your US entity, and it's gonna be enough to open your account within Reveal, and then use also via checkout or SDK or via API. And I think like this is in production right now, and we want to actually show you that you can start now by creating a Reveal account and uh, my.reveal.com/sign up, where you can actually, give it a try to the platform, uh, try the payment method, and then if you have any questions for me, please write me down an email or make a comment on these videos, on these webinars. We want to hear from you. We want to hear from you how do you will want to accept OXXO Pay within your platform. How can we enable that for you? And without further to know, like I feel like signing up give you a possibility to tap in this Mexican market. There is around 476 billion in within the Mexican market, but in digital payments, it's around 70 billion. So giving you an opportunity, a gateway to start accepting payments in Mexico, Reveal has this solution, and we are welcoming you to actually give it a try. If there's no more questions, as I mentioned, you can write me down an email, and I would love to hear your comments and what you can do with OXXO Pay. But without further ado, I really want to thank you guys that are actually looking at this webinar. We're happy to assist you. We're happy to assist you via chat, via email. We are here for you, and we are here for success in the Mexican market. Thank you once again for your time. I really appreciate it, and hope you see you next week. We're going about to launch another webinar. Now it's going to be talking about SPAY. So keep a look on our social media, especially on LinkedIn, that we're going to show more about the next payment method that we're going to explore and double down to just give you more reach to this Mexican market. Thank you, and see you next time.